treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
A little time for this attack. And away we go.
And away we go, as it says right there with my buddy Jackie Gleason. Hi, everybody. We are here tonight with a very talented man. Our guest tonight is Mr. Jeff Jones from Orlando, Florida, of comedy fame, and now writing and acting and now incredible work that we're going to show you some of in a minute. In fact, he's got a show coming up, and we're going to talk about that as well. But right now, I want to introduce you to our co-hostess, Jack Ledoux, ladies and gentlemen. There she is. Hello, Jack.
Hello.
How are you this bright and cheery Labor Day evening?
I'm fine, except that I fell on my hand and I've kind of sprained my thumb.
Well, I have to say, hold your hand up. It looks a little swollen to me. Actually.
It is definitely swollen, yes.
Yeah, I know all about that.
I know you do. Yes.
I know that looks like it's the other shoulder, but it's the left shoulder.
I understand.
And
I'm okay.
Are we ready to bring on Jeff?
I would love that.
I hope Jeff is ready. Hopefully he's not picking his nose or anything.
We don't care if he's not. He's coming on.
All the better. Hello, Jeff.
Hello. Hello.
Hey,
All the way from Orlando, Florida. You're like up there. Yeah. I'm just trying to think of exactly where you are. I think I remember now.
Carol's here.
Hello, Carol. Hi, Carol. Carol is here, and
She always uses Bill.
Wait a minute. Okay, hi there from Carol. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
We're looking at I don't know if you can see the feed of the questions or not.
I cannot.
Okay, well, if anything good comes up, we'll let you know.
Okay.
Yeah, he always puts it on the screen so everybody can see it.
Okay, I can look. I found it. I can look.
That's our very dear friend Carol.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
So, Jeff, how you doing, buddy?
I'm great. How are y'all doing tonight?
Terrific, isn't
Right.
it?
Ow, except.
Yeah, with the exception of, as you may have read, I had a.
And I have a little sciatica. No,
Is this just a talk show of old people complaining about their ailments?
Yes, we talk about bowel movements.
Sometimes,
on
yes.
the whole 9 yards. We go the whole.
I can't wait. I can't wait to join. I don't.
We do indeed. We
Okay.
do indeed. But I'm excited tonight because this has been a long time in the making. I asked you about this a long time ago, and we never got around to it. We started this whole thing during the pandemic, and now we're on once every other week is what we're doing basically now, or whenever we can get a guest because it is like that. But all right, now my first question is going to be for you. I'm curious, are you still doing comedy?
I have not been on stage since November.
Really?
Not necessarily just because I quit actively pursuing it right now. It's I sort of took a little break. I kind of, in a way, fell out of love of stand-up for a bit. I think the business kind of shifted a little bit during COVID, and everybody with their TikTok and Instagram videos and stuff started doing their videos and stuff online, and a whole different crowd sort of developed when it came to comedy. So when everything reopened, a lot of these people and a lot of kids with big social media followings started getting booked by the comedy clubs to come do their stuff live. The only problem is they don't have an act. So they show up because they're funny for 30 seconds, but to fill 30, 40 minutes, they don't have anything. So they sell out because they have a following, but they don't necessarily come back. So
people are quite disappointed when they pay the $20 cover or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like a one-act wonder.
It is. I mean, and comedy is just a weird place right now. There's a very small percentage of people that seem to have a staying in comedy right now. You don't really. There's a handful of big names, but either they move on and do sitcoms and movies,
Mhm.
or there's only a handful you can probably name of just pure stand-ups that are homes and stuff right now. And things kind of shifted too when everything reopened. It's the big comics who played the big theaters. The theaters were the last ones to open. So everybody got kind of pushed back too. The big name comics were doing the clubs because the clubs could open doing the social distancing at tables and get people back to work. So everybody kind of got pushed back. But then it just sort of like made you have to work twice as hard to get in and get booked with more people competing. You're competing with bigger names, not as many venues because a lot of them did close. And
or you're competing with, as you said, people who have all these following who really are not comics. I noticed that last Fringe, there were more comics and comedic shows as far as like a one-person stand-up kind of thing than I've ever seen before at Fringe. And I was like, wow, where are they all coming from? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think a lot of stand-up comics too, and I like that idea that they're learning about Fringe, where they could hone their stand-up routine into more of a personal one-man show or one-woman show, and take that on the road instead of having to sit down every week and email a bunch of comedy bookers and maybe get one email back every 6 months. I mean, I've been doing this for almost 15 years, and there's comedy clubs that I've been emailing for 10 years. And they're always like, oh, you're on our radar. You know, it's like, we'd love to book you, but you know, they end up booking the same rotation of comics every year. So it's it's kind of sad. It's like the only way you'll get in is if somebody dies. You know, it's almost weird.
It seems I think that's true in most of the profession anymore. But I do have to say this. The first time I saw you perform was when you opened for Joan Rivers.
That was probably one of my highlights of my career. Yeah,
and that was over at the Hard Rock.
Yeah,
and I remember distinctly, and I'm sure you do too. Was there one or two shows that night?
Just one show that night. I had done a show with her the night before in Jacksonville.
Right, and I do remember that she stopped you as you started because she got pissed at the audience.
Because there were seats down in front that were empty because the people hadn't gotten there yet. So she introduced me, and then she came running out in her nightgown still because she only does her hair and makeup before the show. While I'm on stage, she gets dressed. She comes running out nightgown and saying, "Yeah, who the fuck is supposed to be sitting? Somebody get in these seats right now. I don't care who they are." So,
I love that.
I love that. As long as I thought, wow, what a classy lady. You know, I mean, really and truly, that was a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
Because that just made more of a divide between you and the audience. And God knows we don't really need much more distance from a stage down.
Stand up is hard enough. I mean, I think that's one of the toughest genres of our business is stand up. I really do.
No, it's because you never know. I mean, because you literally get on stage and you can go into a comedy club and do 2 shows a night, sometimes 3 shows a night, and do the same material, all 3 shows, same energy, all 3 shows. You know, the only thing that's different is the audience. In one show, could be the greatest show of your night, greatest show of the month. And then the next show could be absolute terror and painful. So it's like the only thing that's changing is the audience. So it's a weird psychology thing of comedy of what gets people to laugh. And
but I find that very interesting because as you know, I'm a magician and I do children's shows, and my kid show is pretty good. And I do not the exact same, but no, yes, I do. I do the exact same show every time. And those little bastards, the only thing that changes is the kids. Yeah. And it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. Some of them will go, yeah, well, fuck you. They don't care, And
where's the ice cream?
That's my answer basically to them when they say, I know how you did that. You just look right in the eye, and say, fuck you. It works. It really does.
He doesn't do that.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't bet.
He says, go see your mother.
I want to say hi to Nat Backhouse, who is with us from Australia.
Hey, Nat. Hi, Nat.
International audience, Jeff.
Love you, Nat.
Now, let me ask you this. Would you go back on stage for comedy? I think you would, yes?
I think at some point I probably will. I mean, I've got ideas of stuff I want to do. And like I even talked about like saying the one-man Fringe show kind of idea too, is I have ideas for that too. I think if I want to rewrite and do a bunch of new material, that it does need to be a little bit more personal and more about me than just the here's the joke, here's the punchline kind of thing. So that actually appeals to me more than just getting back out there and doing the comedy club grind.
Well, I think that would be fabulous. I really think you should do that.
With what you have done in the past couple of years with Fringe and outside of Fringe, etc., on stage, the performance aspect and the writing aspect, the shows that you have done have been, oh my God, a joy. My late husband, Christopher, fell in love, and I'm going to probably say this wrong, maybe I'm not, with the animatronicans. Is that it?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. He fell in love with that. Why did he fall in love with that? Because, yeah, everybody could laugh and everybody could have a good time. But if you worked for Disney, oh my God.
So clever.
Hysterical, obviously.
Yeah, it was a fun project to write. And if people are listening, they don't understand. It was basically a sitcom style show, 80s, 70s sitcom style show with 4 theme park animatronics. There you go. Living off property in a Golden Girl style house, and chaos and mayhem ensued as we played it as robots anyway. So, but yeah, I mean,
it was an absolute joy, to watch. Especially, I mean, everybody was actually Lincoln was fucking amazing. But especially let's just talk for a second.
That was Josh
about this guy in the middle. Okay.
Oh, I know. I saw that and my heart kind of went, oh.
Doug Baser, whatever the hell his name is. And he would get a big kick out of me saying that. I know he would, because everybody mispronounced it at one point or another. What a great talent. How'd you come across him?
I've known Doug probably close to 30 years. I mean, it's getting close to years. Wow. First time I met Doug was Miss Sammy and Julian Bain used to do game show spoofs at Southern Nights once a week.
Oh,
and
wow.
They weren't just here's a cheap little set. They built full sets, the full Family Feud sets, they had a full Hollywood Squares set in the stage that took, stuck out halfway into the audience crowd at Southern Nights. And I used to go and hang out because I worked at the Civic Theater in 94, 95 in the box office. And that's how I met a lot of the people in the Orlando theater community, is just working ticket. I had no desire or anything to get on stage then. I just knew growing up, I was a goofy kid that liked to have fun. So they started doing the game shows and I was a regular there and started meeting and hanging out with the people. And they're like, well, we always want somebody who can do impressions, because they always brought in, it was Sam, it was Doug, it was all the people that in that crew now, and people who've gone to bigger and better things in California and stuff. And they always wanted somebody to do impressions of celebrities and stuff to play Hollywood Squares or anything. So I actually did Bill Clinton. And this was 95, 96. So it was during the Clinton era anyway. And the first time I was on stage at Southern Nights with Doug Bowser, I was Bill Clinton and he was Monica Lewinsky, and we played the Newlywed Game.
Oh, so God.
That was our first togetherness on stage, as Doug as Monica Lewinsky and myself as Bill Clinton in the Newlywed Game.
Which must have been hysterical.
Yeah, because he pretended to give me a blowjob right there, because it was right in the middle of all of that. It wasn't a dated joke. It was a current event joke at that point.
Yeah,
so.
He only pretended though, right?
Yeah, only pretended then.
Yes, I just want to make sure.
That would have been a whole different show.
Yeah,
the show is not PG-13, folks. If you're
but still, it would have been a whole different show.
Now, which brings us to you have had. I get you're a Florida baby.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Florida. Yeah,
you're the real thing. You're the real deal.
Second generation. My dad and myself both graduated from UCF. So,
have you ever lived anywhere else in the country? I'm just curious. No, just Florida.
Wow,
Florida.
Orlando in particular, or
No, I moved to Orlando in '93 to go to UCF, and before that, grew up over in Daytona area.
Mm.
Wow.
You know, when I first came down here in '86, it took me 4 months to find someone who actually had been born in Florida. Everybody was transplants.
No,
Myself included.
my dad was born in Orlando, so
Wow.
my parents met at Evans High School in They graduated in
Wow.
1972, 1970. So
Now,
Yeah, it's about me. Yeah.
Obviously, being a Florida boy, and not too far from it, you have had, I think, a relationship with Disney for quite some time, one way or the other. For example,
oh God, that's so cute.
that is you, isn't it?
that is me. I think that was when I was 1. My mom took me to Disney.
Okay,
Because that would have been, 75, 76. So it was still a relatively new thing. And people,
I've got to tell you, that is an awesome picture. It really is. And then, of course, with the animatronicans, this fella, who happens to be one of my favorite characters, is the Dream Finder. I absolutely adore the Dream Finder. As a matter of fact, not unlike other times in my life with Disney, I was going to be the Dream Finder for about 35 seconds, and then they decided not to have the Dream Finder anymore. I was also after the Diamond Horseshoe closed, I was supposed to go over to the Barbie show. I went over and watched 3 excruciatingly painful days of the Barbie show.
I would have loved to have seen you as Barbie.
Oh my God. No.
I would have been the postman, the mailman in the show. And thank you, Jesus, that show did not continue.
Oh dear.
But we do have, and now the Dream Finder is speaking.
Oh,
No, get ready for it. Get ready. He's just checking things.
okay.
I think this is what the big surprise. Hey, Carol did while we're waiting.
I thought I would leave the stream for a moment.
Yeah, well, that was
I'm
weird.
sorry. What did she say, Jack? Were you saying?
No, I was just saying that when we were talking about stand-up, Carol had a really interesting question, and I didn't know if we could go to it really quickly. I think it's a very interesting question in light of what's been happening lately.
Let's go with that real quick.
Yeah, that was just really interesting.
Are people feeling more and more that they can really heckle performers? Do you, that's a good question, worry about security? Is that
I never had a real issue with it. I've been on shows that did have real issues with it. A guy who was like a Navy SEAL was the headliner, and I opened for him at a little dive bar in Lakeland. And a guy in the audience started picking a fight with him, questioning his patriotism. And he's like, I'm a Navy SEAL. I'm defending and talking about, he had to be escorted out of the bar. And the whole time finishing the rest of the show, he's outside. And you could see the window looking out in the audience. And the guy's just pacing back and forth, waiting for one of us to come outside. It's like, it was kind of tense, but they did finally leave. But, heckling, most people, I like to just ignore them. Because they're looking for attention. Unless you have something in your pocket that just take them down and get the rest of the audience to hate them as well. If you just ignore them, 9 out of 10 times, the other audience members will get them to shut the hell up. And if they don't get the attention they want, they'll give up. It's like a kid that just begs for attention. If you just ignore them, they'll stop begging. So,
see, I personally find the thing to have in your pocket is a small Derringer. I think that's the safest one.
In Florida, that's always in somebody's pocket.
Florida or Texas.
Let's go back to the animatronicans.
There we go. Yep.
Because you portray, as I say, probably, I have to tell you, my favorite Disney character. Kodak character, whatever the fuck he is.
It was mine too. So
the Dream Finder.
Yeah, I love the Dream Finder.
Yes, right here. Take a look at this, Jack. Now, wait a minute. What you have to do is look at both pictures, okay? Because right there is that's you, Jeff. Yes, in the yellow thing.
Yeah,
not in the Dream Finder's arms, but next to him.
Yes.
That's
the non-purple one. Yeah, is me.
Yes, that is Jeff with Dream Finder. And interestingly enough, Next to him is again Jeff with Dreamfinder, or Dreamfinder with Dreamfinder, which I think is really kind
adorable.
of,
Yeah,
frankly,
adorable.
And
the same two people 30 years apart, I think, in that point.
Isn't that amazing?
At least 30 years.
More than that. I was probably about 10 then. So yeah, it was at least. Yeah.
Hold it. Wait a minute.
Oh, did you hear something ringing?
Hold on. What? The goopy phone is ringing.
I had that phone.
Only Joe.
Hello? You're kidding. Really? Now? Oh my God. Okay, hold on one second. Let me put this back there and I will get right on it. Okay, hold on. This is very exciting, kids. At least for me. And I think it will be for you too. Because, ladies and gentlemen, joining us all the way from another world.
Bathroom. In my bathroom. In my bathroom.
He is in the John.
In my bathroom.
Hi, honey.
Hello, darling.
Hello,
ladies
sir.
and gentlemen, this is Mr. Ron Schneider.
What's left
He
of it?
was, as for my money, still is the Dream Finder. Look at that.
course.
Yeah.
Can I get paid the same?
No.
Well, maybe if we get a sponsor, you know.
Yeah, really.
I wanted to have Ron on because of the Dream Finder thing, and since we've got Ron right now, let's do the first trivia question. Is anybody out there ready for there is a prize, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Is a prize for this, and I will
It's Ron. He's going to move in because he's homeless or in his bathroom right now.
I think we'll use the prize because we do have the Dream Finders at this point on.
Yeah.
Let's do this very quickly. We'll use this for the prize. This is the
You can't see.
you can't really see what this is. It's a Christmas tree. It's very nice. It's green and yellow, okay? But it's a pigment.
As
and
most Christmas trees are.
It's the Happy Holidays cards. I don't know when these are from, but these are no longer available. I will have you know. This will be the prize for this question because I think this might be the toughest question of the night.
Mm-hmm.
And Ron and Jeff, you are precluded from answering until everyone else has had their shot, okay? Well, you might not know this, Ron. I don't know. Ladies and
Of course
gentlemen,
he does.
and I'm going to tell you why I'm asking this. I want to show you why I'm asking this question, kids. This right here is the reason. Now, this is the caretaker.
William Thomas Stead.
From the haunted mansion.
No. Bill was on Titanic.
Somewhere, I think it's right here. There is Jeff's version of the caretaker from the haunted mansion. Now we can go back and forth between the two, and there's not much difference there. There really isn't.
One's inside, one's outside.
One's brilliant, and the other one's been around since 69.
Yeah,
they're both technically outside in the graveyard, but there you go. So the question is, ladies and gentlemen, for the Figment Greedy Holiday cards, and I know if you're looking it up, guys, I know if you're looking this up because it'll take that long.
Cheaters.
What is the name of the caretaker in the graveyard?
you can't answer anyway, Ron.
I don't give a damn.
Mansion.
Yeah.
And I believe this is only the haunted mansion in Walt Disney World. Jeff, you're looking it up and you already know the fucking answer.
I know. I gotta come up with something little.
Oh, Jeff, I love it.
There we go. I put my thinking cap on there, don't I?
Hey, we got an answer. We got an
You
answer.
made an answer. Who is this? Rogue Stage of Florida. Rogue Stage of Florida. You're wrong. You are actually wrong, believe it or not.
Close.
You're awfully close, Rogue Stage of Florida.
Ron, how did you wear this shit in Florida weather? Come on.
I don't know.
Well, my question would be to Ron, how do you wear that shit you have now in Florida?
He doesn't know that either.
Mark, you are correct.
Oh, it's Tom.
Okay.
Okay.
Florida has a second answer. You were much closer the first time.
No, that's who it is. It's Tom.
Oh, hi, Tom. Okay.
Yeah.
Mark Alderman.
Hi, Tom.
Come in with Silas, which is correct. But we want the last name too.
Schneider.
And William
Carol
Barnes
says Joe Zimmer.
Joe Zimmer. Very good. I have to say, Rogue, where?
It's Tom. It's Tom.
He tried so hard. He's so close.
I think that's
really
close
is.
enough.
You think
Yeah,
that's
it's really
I think that's close enough.
Ron, I'm curious. Do you know?
Not a clue.
Okay, we're going to give this to Tom. Tom, it is actually Silas Grump, believe it or not.
And see, I thought it was Silas Crump too. So
Yeah.
in all fairness,
I thought it was Crump. I did too.
Okay, and you know what? I got this. Well, no, I got this when I was there. So that's what I was told. It could be wrong, but I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you, Tom, and you get this. Now, Tom, are you in Florida? You live
Oh,
in
yeah.
Florida?
He's in Florida.
Oh yeah, he's in Florida.
He's in Florida.
Good, because
Tom just won a for Fringe. Is it Be a Pirate, Tom? Is that what it was?
Was that his show?
His Fringe show, yeah.
He's a great playwright. He's written some
wonderful.
great shows.
Yeah, he's
That was wonderful. Now, Tom, here's the thing. If you want to collect that prize, I don't mail this shit because it costs money. So if you want to collect that prize, you actually
Try and find him.
You have to find me. Wait a minute. This is classic.
I love you. Oh my God, that's awesome. The original Czech spelling is we're not in Czechoslovakia. I can't even say the damn place.
Yeah,
We're not
Thanks, Jack, for that. So Be a Pirate was his show.
Yeah.
Tom, if you want to collect that prize, you have to find me. Very easy to find me. You can find me pretty much every Thursday night, with the exception. I got it really quickly, Ron. We're going to come into you guys in a second here, but with the exception of this Thursday night, I will not be there. But I normally will be on Thursday nights over at Michael Wanzi's whatever the fuck it is he does.
It's called Trivia, dear. Trivia.
Yes.
If you can't answer the word trivia, you might not go to trivia.
Yeah.
Yes.
This right here is where I will be this Thursday night.
Yeah.
At least for the first half hour. Thursday night, 6 to 8 p.m., 946 Mills. That's at the Gay and Lesbian Community Center.
It's at the center.
Yeah.
Yes. The
With
center
George.
will be a collection of Jeff's stuff, of his sculptures,
Mhm.
of which we have a few examples. You see some examples behind him. And we have this, which is Jesus.
Do you know, Jeff, this is terrible, but I have the same wig and the same outfit when I've done Winnie before. It looks much better on your caricature. Trust me.
That's the way
You staple gun it to yourself is what the secret is.
Yes. Well,
So will this one be at the exhibit, Jeff?
Yeah, that one's for sale. Everything's
Very
for
good.
sale.
And then another of my favorite, my all-time favorite is going to always be this thing right here.
mhm.
I wish I had the money.
Irish.
And then we've got this, which is that great or what?
I love that.
I mean,
now that's amazing.
it
I love
really
I
is.
love your Cruella Deville too. I do.
That
And the
one,
most
Ursula was a
frightening
pain in the butt to make because that's
I'll
just
bet
so
it
much
was.
body, and the boobs were a pain in the butt to sculpt. So
Well, I imagine you use a lot more clay on this.
yeah,
Well,
she
for
weighs a
Ursula,
ton.
yeah.
She weighs a ton.
She must. I was going to say she must weigh a half a ton. Reminds me a lot of our dear friend Michael Walters. Not because it weighs a ton. Fuck.
Can I get the word in edgewise here?
Go.
Yes.
The main reason I showed up here is because I wanted this opportunity to tell Jeff how awestruck I am by all the sculptures. I mean, everything that comes up online just blows me away. But
Thank you.
I have to ask you, this particular approach, this particular form that you've embraced, that all of your things have in common, how did that start?
Because I don't want to do exact replicas. and I like over exaggerating their facial expressions and over exaggerating the feature. I don't want to go for realism. I like the little avant-garde kind of weird kind of caricature. I call them 3D caricatures because they're more fun.
That's what they are, though. That's exactly what they are.
The thing that amazes me is when you post pictures of them and they don't have the props, they don't have all the dressings. I can never tell who the hell they are. And then, like Firesign Theater taught me, props make the man. You put everything on there, and there's no mistaking. I mean, it's just spot on and so funny.
It's so weird precious. When they take them from gray to paint. Paint is always what takes the difference to me. I don't like them at all until I get a coat of paint on. So it's weird.
I'm the same way.
It's it is so cool because I've been watching since Jeff started this. He's been posting, the progression of these characters as he's making them, and to me, it's fascinating because I don't have a artistic bone in my body for that kind of stuff. I couldn't do it to save my life, and it's so wonderful to watch. But he did do these, which I think are absolutely
I love those.
And this is 3 of the cast of the Golden Girls, which would be Sophia, Dorothy, and Blanche are there. I don't have Betty or
Rose
here.
They're all 4 done. They'll all 4 done, and they'll be there Thursday night.
They'll be there Thursday night. So, folks, you want to come down and see this thing if you can. So let's go ahead and do a quick Golden Girls trivia question. What do you say?
See how he does this? Isn't that smart how he leads into these things?
Shall we do that? And for that,
blends.
our prize tonight for that is a pair of barbecue socks in honor of Labor Day. They are size 6 to 12. They are men's. They are made in China. So, all right.
Can we just size 6 to 12? That is a huge difference in feet.
I know. Does that make no sense whatsoever?
Indeed.
We can just say it's a sock for everyone.
It's like those gloves they have for Christmas, the holiday time, where they'll fit your hand, but they're like this big to begin with. So what is the question? Are you ready, gang? Everybody out there for Golden Girls trivia?
Tom says I wear socks. Okay.
What is the name? I'm going to go to. I got to put the comments on so I can get the answer. What is the name of the girl's gay cook who pulled a Chuck Cunningham and disappeared after the pilot episode?
Silas Grump.
Now that's a show.
That would be a completely different show. So
we could bring Silas Grump in as the maid in another animatronic at some point.
That would be really cool, Jeff. That would be so cool.
There's a good question while we're waiting, Jeff. Will there be another version
with Bob Chapek?
Their goal was to have one this year at Fringe, but we unfortunately didn't get in. Right now it's up in the air. We don't know. We did lose we did lose Doug, so that's a huge part of the show. So
I think Tom's got it. I think.
Okay, Tom's got it. Charles. Someone said Charles.
George Mark.
And Coco. Tom, you're right. You have won twice now, Tom. I'm going to let you win twice because I don't want this shit in my house. I will put that next to that. If you want it, you have to find me. I
think Tom's just Christmas shopping tonight. Is all he's doing. He's got a card. He's got a pair of socks to give somebody.
No, he said he wears socks. Okay, you can wear them in your next pirate rendition, Tom.
Tom, you are starting to make me doubt your talents here because you are saying similar to Hank Azaria's character in The Birdcage. I thought Hank Azaria was brilliant. I thought that Coco was really who cares. Thus the reason he left after the first couple of episodes. After the pilot episode, it just wasn't worth keeping him. But that's okay. That's okay. He's disqualifying himself from future winnings except the Fringe lottery.
We can live with that.
Fair enough. The last question is really easy. But let me ask you, Ron, I'm curious. What did you think of the animatronicans? Because you are, I mean, I consider you the arbiter of all things Disney, quite frankly.
Terribly clever. Still don't understand what the polar bear was doing there, but I loved it, and I loved that I got invited to make a cameo in the second edition. So that was fun to do.
Did you actually do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was that guy.
Well, shit, I missed that.
Well, if they ever do it again, they'll probably do the same joke. It was a terrific idea. He had this idea of doing a that guy like Monsters Laugh Floor, and putting a camera on somebody in the audience. And so he invited me to come down. I came down when they were in rehearsal. I sat in the audience. I put a Figment hat on, and they filmed me. And then they inserted that video footage of me sitting in the audience into the play. And the night I came to see it, I wore the Figment hat so that everybody would be looking at me before the show, going, "Why is this idiot wearing a Figment hat?" And then boom, up would come me with the Figment hat. That was very terribly clever.
It's funny because at every performance, people would look around for Ron in the audience at the shows, and he was pre-filmed. It's not like we have that kind of a budget to put a camera on stage to track somebody down in a Fringe show.
Yeah, really. Well, here's the thing. As in the past, if Ron can't make it for all the shows next time, generally when they can't get Ron, they call my fat ass.
Exactly.
I'm just saying. So I can slap a beard on real easy and just sit there for you, you know.
Apparently, so can Jeff.
Yeah, yes. Well, yes.
It's right here.
It's right there. It's right there.
Although I'd rather not wear it because it is in Florida and it's so bloody hot.
In answer to your question, Jeff, before I got to Florida, I was doing a lot of theater. I always hated wearing false facial hair. Hated it, and avoided it whenever possible. And the very first day that I showed up to do Dreamfinder in the park, I go to cosmetology and I look at this wig, beard, and mustache. I thought, oh my God, I have to do this every freaking day. And the first thing I glue the mustache on, and then I would have to sit for like 15 minutes and calm down before I put all the rest of it on. But it was a nightmare. I don't know how I got through it, but I loved it.
What I think that one of the coolest things is, in all honesty, I love when I found that photograph of when I found this.
Mm-hmm.
First off, it brought a little lump to my throat. I'm a Disney person. I love Disney. And interestingly enough, just like Jeff, you're with Ron in this picture, I have had people walk up to me about the Diamond Horseshoe. Very old people. Okay. And say, "Oh my God." And just recently, believe it or not, I was in the park and someone did, which was very flattering. But, "Oh my God, I am with you when I was like 8 years old when you were at the Diamond Horseshoe." It is, I don't know how you feel, Ron, but that's both heartwarming and painful at the same time. So.
I love it. I got a couple sets of pictures like that. What's that? I remember David's name, who does Fringe shows all the time. But he directed me in the show and brought a picture, and you got side-by-side pictures of me and him, and I've seen a couple of those. Yeah. I love it.
I knew that photo existed of me and Dreamfinder. I just wasn't 100% sure if it was Ron, and he confirmed it when I found the photo.
Oh, I look at that and I go, Ron. But, I'm a fan. Now, Jeff, let's turn the tables on. On
Dave Strauss. Yeah.
On him. On Ron. Let's turn the tables on Ron and ask you this. And I hope to Christ you did, because otherwise this is a shitty question. Have you read Ron's book?
I actually have read Ron's book. I have it.
Okay. And?
No, it was fascinating. I love any type of behind the scenes stories. I'm the kind of person that loves the documentaries and any story about how something came about. I love hearing all the backstage stuff, the development of stuff. and I'm a theme park nerd anyway. So hearing about stuff that's happened at Disney and all the other parks, that was, I any of that stuff I'm all about. And that was before I even started thinking about doing animatronicans, just because Journey into Imagination was one of my favorite rides growing up. That was the original one. To me, was one of the best things Disney's ever done. And I was devastated when it closed too. So but the fact that I could read, behind the stuff, I loved the stories and hearing about Ron cutting the voice tracks that Chuck McCann didn't do, and now that then going back through in my mind and going, I remember that. I remember. So it's kind of cool hearing all that stuff.
I see. I don't know about you, but I would have paid big money to watch Ron run through that set myself. Many times. I would have paid a lot of money.
The preview. Oh God, the preview movie. That was hellacious.
And did you notice? I will ask you this, Jeff. Did you notice that my name was mentioned in the book?
No, I just skimmed that part. Probably.
Yeah, well, fuck you. No. A very funny thing. People, when Ron wrote the book, he put it out. Ron and I became very dear friends, and I'm thrilled by that, quite frankly. But people tried to put a wedge between us, saying, because I had not read the book yet, and someone said, "Oh, I heard he really trashed you in that book." And I went, "Really?" And then because I had to buy one, damn it. And then I read it and said, "Oh my God, he was very nice to me in that book. How lovely, how lovely."
I changed the names of all the people I trashed.
Yeah, well, with the exception, you did actually. You actually did. Yes, you did. And I was there with him for some of these people. Let me tell you.
Hey, Carol would like the name of the book, Ron.
From Dreamer to Dreamfinder.
It's very good.
Yes, it's on Amazon.
You can get it on Amazon. I think you can actually get it as an audio book. Can you not?
9 hours of me talking.
Yeah, which is
puts you right to sleep.
But it did get me. It did get me from here to Pennsylvania once. So,
and he wasn't even driving.
Yeah. So,
boom, ching.
So we've got. I'm so pleased you came in, Ron, and to say hi. I really am. I hope you are, Jeff.
Of course, absolutely.
2 weeks ago, we had an interesting situation. We won't talk about it, but ask Wanzi, and he'll tell you all about it in no uncertain terms. In
excruciating detail.
Yeah, which he did for me this past week at the trivia thing. It turns out that is it Tom, the Rogue Theater guy? Is that Tom?
Yeah, that's Tom.
Yeah, he will be. He says here he will be at
Jeff's show.
He says he will be at trivia on Thursday. Apparently, issuing Jeff's show. But he also said this, which I thought was very fun.
Nothing, because you've disqualified yourself. Come
what
on,
do you win? My friend, you do win something. My sincere condolences.
and the socks. David Strauss. He's right. David Strauss is the name of the other fellow who
did it was Dave.
With David.
What did he do?
I've got pictures of him. He's wearing a baseball cap, and then the picture that we took when we did the show together, he's wearing the same baseball cap.
Yeah, he still has that baseball cap.
Well,
every once in a while. Yeah,
Ron, I have to tell you, for a guy with bad legs and shit right now, you look great.
I'm sitting in a rolling chair.
Are you really?
Yes.
Oh no. Yeah.
I have one last question for Ron before you go, because I know you got to go pick up your
stepson.
Your stepson.
Yes.
He works at Universal. If nobody knew,
Cool,
but my last question for you: why are you in the toilet? Why are you in the John?
It's a long story, but basically, I'm getting a new bed in the bedroom, which is right over here. I'm getting a new bed. Yeah. I'm getting a hospital bed.
Good.
So it means that I had to clear out the junk, the swamp, the muck around and under the bed I'm in now to make room for that. Whenever I try to do this and make a bigger mess than it was in the first place. So right now, our bed is completely covered with they're like 5 different Figment puppets, and all this other crap. And so I was going to go in there, but then also the TV remote's underneath that crap someplace, so I can't turn the TV down. The light, I've got the light on remote over the bed, but right now it's on fan, so I can't turn the lights on. So this is a place that had light, and I could plug the thing in and home. There you are.
And it's got the acoustics are fantastic.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And when Ron Schneider says it's a long story, it really is a long story.
Oh no! Hey Joe. Tom said he'll be at Jeff's show.
I see that.
We'll see him there.
Tom will be at your show. He will not.
He'll have socks to wear now later in the evening.
He will. He'll have. Oh dear. So we've got that. Ron, thank you so very much. Jeff, do you have any questions for Ron before he goes?
I think that last one just summed up everything there, Joe.
I think you're right. I think that tells us everything we ever needed to know, and perhaps a little more.
But no, Ron, thank you for doing that for us in the show, making the cameo. That made the show just so much more special to have you involved with.
It's my pleasure, Jeff, and like I say, nothing but admiration for what you've been doing, and it's great to see you, Jack. And
I know.
Yeah. And I wouldn't.
Thank you, Joe, for inviting me.
But you know what I can do? This up your ass. Okay.
You are. Oh my God! It's a good thing you guys go way back.
I positively adore that man.
Yeah, me too.
He has taught me so much, and most of it I've ignored, frankly,
or changed.
Or changed to work for me.
Exactly.
Now, Jeff, Thursday night.
Yes.
Thursday night, 6:00
at the center.
And I want to stress to everyone watching, and those of you who are watching on YouTube later on, which most of you bastards do. I don't really understand why, because you could ask Jeff real live, honest to God, live questions right here, but nobody wants to. But it's great that you come on the YouTube channel and watch. You're going to have bunches of characters and something incredibly special, at least from my point of view, and I'm sure many people's. You have done. Is it finished? You know what I'm talking about.
The only thing that hasn't been done is she's getting a hair touch up tomorrow, and then she's good to go. So it's a in my version and one of my style of Miss Sammy.
Wow!
If you aren't from Florida, if you're in Orlando, she was one of the hostess of Orlando in drag queen, and she was in the original. If you didn't know, she was in the original Broadway cast of LaCage.
Yes, she was.
That's the running joke with Sam. But,
yes, she was.
But I did one because I wanted to do something that has more of a local tie-in with the show, and Sam passed away not too long ago, and they started the Sing House Scholarship Foundation for young kids entering, looking to go into the arts, theater, dance, any of that kind of stuff. Yeah. So they gave away the first scholarship, I think a couple months ago, or maybe even last month, very recently. So I'm doing this one, and the figure is dressed in one of Miss Sammy's outfits, is dressed in one of Miss Sammy's wigs, and wearing one of Miss Sammy's jewelry. So it's all Sam stuff, and what we're going to do is raffle it off, and 100% of the raffle is going to go to the Sing House Scholarship. So for the entire month, starting on Thursday when we unveil the figure at the center, you can buy raffle tickets, and you can buy them in person. You can go to the center. You'll be able to buy the raffle tickets online.
Awesome.
So the whole month of September, because we want to raise as much money as possible for the charity.
Sure.
I'm going to buy tickets too. I mean, I made it, and I could just make another one. But my goal and what I'm hoping is people who are out of state to even just buy a couple raffle tickets to support the charity. Number one, and I'm hoping, this is my wish, is whoever wins will decide to donate the statue or the bust back to the center.
That would be lovely.
That way it has a permanent home.
Yeah.
So
That
So,
would be delightful.
if we can raise a bunch of money for the charity, and I know a lot of people may not like these giant things of scary characters, fun characters, familiar people in their home. I get that. I mean, trust me, I walk around my house and there's eyes staring at me constantly. But,
I love them, but I've got all this shit in my walls already. There's no more space. I'm done. But and on that note, very quickly, I do want to mention real quick before I get to the final trivia question. I want to mention that we talk about our I didn't know Doug that well, but from what I can gather, we would have probably been pretty good friends.
Doug was a phenomenal man. Yeah, he's every show I've ever written. This is a fun fact about it. Every show I've ever written for the Fringe, every show I've been in, Doug was part of it. Doug, he would always say yes to whatever crazy, ridiculous idea I had for a show to write. The first one we did in 2008. Together on stage was in the Hell shows, and then we did Little Miss Parliament House, Little Miss Fringe Festival. I wrote Joan Crawford's show for him, and was one of the co-writers to bring the Taffy Tired Old Horror shows to life. So Doug was a major impact on my performing life, and one of my favorite people ever to share a stage with. I learned so much about comedy from Doug.
I don't doubt it. But there will be there is a show going. I don't know, maybe sold out already. Ladies of Eola Heights.
Yeah, that one is sold out.
It's sold out. It is sold out.
Well,
and we have our tickets already.
I do too. Ladies of Eola Heights is sold out down at the where the
Abbey.
Is it?
The Enzian.
I'm old.
We know
it's sold out, but folks, if you want to donate to either of these lovely causes, if you don't want to get the statue, just donate to what is a great cause. But the money from Doug's showing of this show, the video of Ladies of Eola Heights, is going towards another kind of scholarship from Doug at the Fringe, about Doug at the Fringe, which is delightful. Ask, for people who worked in Doug's form of comedy. Oh my God.
So it means it's really fucked up and dirty. Yeah. So, that's my favorite kind of comedy anyway.
It's funny. I only knew Doug through Sleuths. Well, I mean, I'd known of Doug, but I got to know him a little bit, not a lot, because I'm kind of a prude. Let's be real. So his comedy wasn't exactly, my bent, if you will. But when I would watch him on stage at Sleuths, I played Miss Marple. I was a host, so I was like hanging around and stuff. And he was always so giving to the other actors on stage. Yeah. He was always there. He's always there supporting, and frighteningly funny. I mean, oh my God, so funny, and so quick. But the thing that got me was his heart, because he was always so giving, especially when somebody new was coming in for a part, and he'd be right there supporting them, making sure, letting them shine. I mean, that's gold. That's actor gold, The
thing with Doug is Doug taught me two things. Number one, never try to upstage Doug Bowser on stage.
Oh, of course not.
And number
it can't be done.
Number two, always try to upstage Doug Bowser on stage, because what you would get after that would be even funnier than what you would have done.
Yep.
So
never try to, but God, you better
always try to.
I want to real quick. This picture hit me really hard when I saw it.
Oh,
and it's just about, how old are you in this picture, Jeff?
Oh God, I've got to be early 20s.
Okay, so that was a few years ago, right?
That's
it's funny because I look at that picture, and one of my favorite people in the world portrayed that character for a long time, namely
Chris,
my late husband Chris, portrayed that character, and I'd like to think that that's him. Maybe
you never know.
At the very least, a good friend of his. I'd like to think that. But by the way, he, as I told you already, but Jeff, as I say, had many, he's a Disney guy. I mean,
Are you just torturing me by showing pictures of what I was like when I was thinner at this point now?
I think actually,
Yes.
you're kind of hot, Jeff. It was kind of amusing. But Jeff, Mr. Halloween, good Lord. And this doesn't even scratch the surface of the craziness.
Oh, the chef.
And the creativity. My favorite, though, I have to say one of my favorites is right there. Not a Halloween costume per se, but was the one on the left Joe? Oh, were you talking about Tom? Were you talking about the
orangutan?
The orangutan? No, that might have very well been Chris. It's very possible he did that for a long time. Anyways, we are almost at the end of the show, and I do have one more question in honor of Miss Sammy. Since you're doing that, we will not see that tonight, kids. I'm sorry.
Unveil it at the proper moment.
You will be able to see it Thursday night, which I think is really cool. And I'm looking forward to it. Right down to the lipstick on the microphone. You son of a, that's great. That's great. Here is the question, the final trivia question of the night. Does your name have to start with a J to be on the show?
Carol.
No, it does not. Oh, Jack, Joe, and Jeff. I didn't realize that till right now. Bitch. Okay, now.
We had Ron, so it does not count tonight.
There you go. Thank you, Jeff.
So,
see, Carol.
Rogue Tom is already saying, I know the answer. Well, maybe you do, Tom, but
you're disqualified, Tom.
Son of a bitch. All right. The last question, and this will be for the Mickey Mouse LED nightlight. I want you to know I am not responsible for any fires this may cause. Okay. Here we go. Last question. Here we go. And listen to the question carefully before you answer. Where did Miss Sammy and Carol Lee have Twisted Sisters bingo in Orlando, Florida? At what venue? John Schneider. What the hell does that mean, John Schneider?
It's a J.
It's a J.
Instead of Ron, it's John.
That would be a completely different guest.
Yes, it would.
Who also had an influence on my younger childhood's life. So.
Let's not get into that.
Let's just leave that one alone.
The question becomes again.
Ooh. No. Oh, Carol. Carol has an answer.
Carol has an answer, and what's Carol's answer? Oh, look
correct.
at what Carol's answer is. Carol, you are right. Hamburger Mary's. You win the lovely this Mickey Mouse LED
nightlight.
Caution, risk. Are you ready for this? Caution, risk of electric shock.
That's good for kids.
Yeah, it's good for kids.
Risk of electric shock and fire hazard. It is on this. I swear to God. For adult use only. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, Carol, you have that with all of this. And if you want to pick it up, I'll tell you what. I'm going to broaden the scales, broaden the scope. I will be at Jeff's exhibit on Thursday night at 6 p.m. when the doors open. And I will be there for a while, and I will have all of the prizes there for both Tom and for Carol, if you can get down there. If you can't, well,
Hamburger.
I'll give them away on the next show.
Oh my God. Pull up Tom's answer. Pull up Tom's answer.
Tom's answer is
he said, damn. Oh, I love it. I love you, Tom.
Slamburger. I've seen that movie.
Wasn't that with Jeff Stratton? Never mind.
Yeah.
Now, before we go, I do want to tell you folks, the next show, and you might be interested in it. Maybe you won't be interested in this, Jeff, but the next show is going to actually be a turnaround show. Ron Schneider will be the host of the next show, and we will be and Jack will be the co-host, and the guest on the next show is going to be And why are we doing that? Because I did Ron's show, which is called Wild Rides. And we're going to show that show in its entirety. And we're going to kibitz about that. And then Ron will ask me questions. And the studio audience will be able to ask me questions. And I have to answer all the questions truthfully. Look out. So that should be a very interesting night. Jeff, I want to thank you for being here so much. This has been so much fun.
No, thank you. Really, it was a lot of fun.
And I don't believe we've even scratched the surface of who you are with this, but we've done pretty good.
Yeah.
It'd be like, it's like, it was not unlike doing the Michael Wanzi when we did. It's like you do the Michael Wanzi thing, then about 25 other things come up that would be interesting to talk about.
Yeah.
So we've got that. But thank you so much for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Jones.
And we'll see you Thursday.
Thursday night.
I will see you on Thursday night. You take care of yourself, buddy, okay?
Thank you.
Be good.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, Jeff.
Thanks.
Well,
He's awesome. Great. Isn't he adorable? He's absolutely adorable.
He's lovely, but I knew that already. He's a sweet guy. What we didn't get into was his Christmas decorations.
I know. Yeah, I saw some of the stuff, on his site. He's really amazing.
His house is insane on the outside.
Yeah.
It really is. I think actually just for kicks.
You think you have a couple?
I think I might. Is that it? There is an aerial view.
Yeah. Is that crazy or what?
Hey, Jack, I know we took you out, but how in the fuck did you get this aerial view of your house?
That's amazing.
I don't think you can see it. How did you get that aerial view?
Yeah, a friend of mine had as a drone, and he came over and took drone.
Oh, wow. That's amazing, Jeff.
And there's we didn't talk about I'm sorry I put you on the spot there. I apologize. But we didn't talk about your Christmas decorations, which are absolutely insane.
It's a little over the top.
Yeah.
No, I love them though. But you know what? Some people just are like all lights and all. Do you know what I mean? And this sort of has a story.
Yeah, and I do the insides just as much too. So.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Cannot possibly expect anything less from you, Jeff. Again, thank you very much. You take care, buddy. I promise not to bring you back. Here we go. Jack, as always, a delight to have you on. And 2 weeks hence, we'll try to do the Joe Zimmer show.
That'll be interesting, featuring Joe Zimmer.
With special guest Joe Zimmer. That scares me just a little.
But because it's me and Ron.
The secret, the fun of the show, I will tell you, what's going to be interesting is that any questions that are asked, I will answer completely truthfully. But don't forget, I get to control the questions. I can delete shit.
I know you can. Not on a live show, though.
Well, as long as I see them first, I can do what I want.
You may not. You may come up. We may have some that we hide from you.
You never know. You never know.
No, we won't do that. Don't worry about it.
I know. I hope so. I'm looking forward to it, actually.
It'll be fun.
I really am. I'm looking forward to it. So, Jack, thank you very much. I will see you Thursday.
Thursday night. Yep.
Okay.
All right. See you Thursday.
Take care, kiddo. Bye.
Bye, guys.
And finally, it's down to me. It has been so much fun to be with you again tonight, folks. What a joy. If you're watching on YouTube, at the end of the day, you do want to make sure that you know that that Jeff will have the show at the center on this day, Thursday, September 8th, 6 to 8 p.m. That is Thursday, September 8th, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You want to come down and see his stuff. And maybe we could do a live from there just for funsies, but that will be up to Jeff and, of course, the center itself. That just came off the top of my head. So we'll talk about that later if it might happen. Thank you very much for being with us. And as always, take care of yourselves. And that's not selfish, because if you don't take care of yourself, how the hell are you going to take care of somebody else? You know what I'm saying? And last but not least, look for the helpers, because you know what? They're out there. They are. And they're helping. You could be helping too. Don't forget to vote. Bye-bye.